Dun, 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 dun. Well, we've won. Wow, we have won. I can't believe it. Welcome to ABW Live. It's West Ham away. And we're celebrating a victory, which, let's be fair, okay? Not many people recall that. Right, before we get to our guests, let's see who's in the box. Gunner 93, Ron Ree, Zoidberg, Phil McHenry, Reese 1237, Julian Salmon, Daniel Cronin, Marco Bricks UK, Lossless is there, MJL, Dublin Gun, Formerly Noza, Cornish Gooner, Abhishek Kachala, and Michael Hanneman smashes in with a donation already, and he says that's what happens when we play Martinelli, Pepe, and Alba in the front three. I love that winning feeling. We're staying up. We're staying up. We're staying up. Oh, God help us all. J. Rob has smashed in as well with a donation, and he says, lads, I must go, but get in. I'll watch tomorrow. Oh. J. Rob, you're a star. Michael, you're a star. Thank you very much. What a game. It had a bit of everything, to be fair. Let's get straight into it. My guest tonight, he's back again. It's Rich. It's Cactus Cash. Say hello, Rich.
Hello, Rich. Had to be done.
Damn right it does. How are you, pal? You okay?
I'm very good, mate. How are you, Jace?
I'm a lot happier than I was 40 minutes ago. A lot happier.
This feels strange. This is what winning feels like, eh?
It's very, very different, isn't it? You know, we're up to the heady heights of length now. So, you know, bring on the title charge.
3 points closer to that magic 40 points.
All right, guys. I'm sorry, I got to mention this guy. Thela Ron's West Ham United Football Club is in the box, and he says, "You only beat us." Hey, mate, we ain't been great recently. Okay, I'll take beating anyone. Then alongside me, I have the one and only. Oh, he's a dirty boy. It's John Welsh. Say hello, John.
Hello, John. And I can say all that happy tone in my voice.
First time in like a year, is it?
10 games and we finally got a win. This is unbelievable. And I'll correct you, Jason. We're up to the heady heights of 9th place in the league now. Not 11th. We're all the way up to 9th.
Bollocks.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're on 0 goal difference. We're above Palace and Newcastle.
I'm not having it. I just don't believe it. So look, yeah. I seriously don't believe it.
Yeah. All the way up to 9th. We're only 7 points off Chelsea.
Not we're 11th.
Place. No, we're 9th. Seriously, update your table.
Arsenal.com, pal. What do you expect? I
was going to say Welsh internet, but you know.
Don't have a go. Do not have a go, fella. I'm ready for it today. I've not been in a good mood for a couple of weeks now. So, you know, let's have it. Right now, let's get straight to the game. Lineups: Pepe, Martinelli start, Lacazette on the bench, Chambers at centre back with Sokratis and Luiz out, and then Hector getting injured in the warm up. John, talk to me.
Starting lineup I really liked. That was obviously when Hector was in the team. I thought, yes, we've got in theory 2 best fullbacks. I thought Chambers deserved a chance at centre-back. I think he's been one of our more consistent players and been playing out of position most of the season. I would have preferred to see Luiz over Sokratis, but, you know, fair enough. He wanted to keep, I guess, the better defender in rather than the ball player in the back line there. Midfield 2 was really happy with. It's exactly what I wanted to see, although we didn't line up exactly the way I wanted when we started the game. But biggest thing I was happy about was Martinelli starting. Kid has been fantastic all season. We've said all along, you know, no one expected him to play so well this early on. I was expecting under 23 games, maybe a loan in January. He's coming down really great in the cup competitions in Europa League. Definitely worth a start. Aubameyang through the middle, which I think is something we should see more often. It's not anything against Lacazette, but I think you look at his form away from home. And just the fact that it pushes Alba wide, it's probably our strongest team we could go out with tonight, near enough. So yeah, was really, really pleased with the lineup.
Yeah, it was. I got to be honest, I was happy to see that pace and intent up front. But Rich, oh my God, I mean, my first note is okay. Slow build-up play, very methodical. But let's be honest, the first half was absolute shite, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It was, what's the old adage? It was like two bald guys fighting over a comb.
Oh.
It was so poor. Two very two rubbish teams who have got no confidence. It was terrible, really, really bad. Misplaced passes. No one was really closing down the ball. Even I thought West Ham would come after us. Like Tierney looked nervous in the first couple of minutes. He giving away the ball and then gave away a foul. And I thought, oh no, this isn't looking good. There was like one good run in, I think it was like the 9th minute from Pepe. But yeah, it was a dire first half, unfortunately.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We only had one decent spell of possession in around about the 20-minute mark. But apart from that, we did nothing.
Well, on a brighter note, Arian Hagari, aka Julian Nagelsmann, has smashed in a donation in his Canuck dollars. I'm not even having a go at German. Arian, forget it, okay? As far as I'm concerned.
Would you like to know what he's saying there? He's done a little song. It's Monsieur Welsh, he wears a magic hat, and when he saw a masterclass, he said, I did that. Or something close to that. That's what Google Translate said anyway. My German is not that good.
Aaron, you're better than that. You're better than that, son. Forget it. I'm not doing it.
Thank you, Aaron. I love you.
Fuck off, John. Stop messing about, okay? Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, John, let's just go over this. We turned over the ball poorly. We looked... Oh, my God. The only little bit of action you saw was between Snodgrass and Tierney with that sort of Scottish little battle on the side. But than that, it was pretty poor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what Rich was saying, I thought West Ham were actually quite smart in that they let us just have the ball at the back because they knew that Chambers and Sokratis aren't going to do any damage with the ball, which is why I wanted Luiz on, because at least he can hit those long diagonals for someone like Aubameyang or Pepe to run into. And then they only close us down when the midfield have it. The big issue for me, that when the big difference you saw in the first half to the second half, when we did get the change then when we started playing better, was I don't know why Freddie did it this way, but he had Xhaka on the right of midfield and Torreira on the left, which made absolutely no sense to me. We know how left-footed Xhaka is. That's the side he's always played when he's played in midfield. I know some people will say, well, he's playing centre mid. Should it really make a big difference? And I think it genuinely does. We just had no control of the ball. You saw how deep Ozil was trying to come and get it. Pepe was at times as well. And basically, if none of them two or Martinelli came back to get the ball, we just weren't getting forwards. I don't think I've ever seen us struggle to get out of our own half so much in a game against the team. And no offence to the West Ham fan who's in the chat, I think he's already slaughtered his own team, who have been so poor this season. Also really, really shot of confidence. So it was just awful. That is definitely one of the worst first halves of football I've seen, not just from Arsenal but from both teams. It was really bad.
One of the problems. Sorry to interrupt. One of the problems that I could see that was happening was when Chambers and Sokratis had the ball, Xhaka and Torreira were in straight lines, so they were in line with them. So they had no out ball, so they had to keep on going it back to each other. You needed someone to drop deep or someone to go into the centre to create an angle. They were always completely straight, and it was so frustrating.
To be fair, we've been moaning about movement of this team off the ball for a long time now. We'll come to that in a second. Gunner 93 has just smashed in the donation. CHF, where's that from? Where are you from, Gunner 93? I don't know. But he says the Alba Lacazette partnership is a complete myth. Only 2 away wins came when they didn't start together. I'd sell one and get natural wingers. Come on, you Gooners. It's a fair shout, mate. It's a fair shout, but I think you need to be a strength and depth at the moment, so it's going to be a bit difficult. Right. Let's get on to this. It was such a dire first half. Right, okay, 26 minutes. John. Oh, sorry, Richard, I'll stick with you. The Tierney injury. I mean, how unlucky is this kid?
Yeah, you could see it on his face. He looked gutted, the boy. It was I saw someone tweeted something about that. I think it was in the Athletic or something like that. They were saying that he was struggling with a shoulder injury. So maybe just a flare up of that. I don't know if it popped out and popped back in again. It was just a coming together with Antonio, wasn't it? And he just, as Antonio went one way, his arm, as he was trying to hold on to him, went the other, and I think it just popped out. He's so unlucky. I feel really badly for the boy because he looked so short of match fitness kind of thing and match minutes. And the only way he's going to get that is by playing, but he's not getting it. And now I don't know how long he's going to be out with that now for.
It's going to be long term, but it's going to be long term.
And I think I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone in the chat box will correct me, but I think that the long term issue he's had going on has actually been with his left shoulder, and that looked like it was his right. And I think Rich is right in what he said. In the first couple of minutes of the game, he looked a bit tentative and a little bit nervous on the ball. But as the game went on a bit, I thought he got better and was going into, challenges like you were talking about with Snodgrass, and they were like full-blooded, 50-50s. And I thought, okay, yeah, he's coming into the game a bit more. And then he gets that. And it's so disappointing because I think, although I don't think we've seen the best of him by any means, I think the little bits and pieces we have seen from him and how he's willing to take on a man, knock the ball past him, go round him and stuff, and go into those meaty sort of tackles, it is really, really good. So I hope that it's nothing too serious and that he comes back from it. Although, to be fair, I didn't actually think Kolasinac was that bad when he came on, which is something to say.
I thought a lack of movements. It stems from the whole team ethos, to be honest. Quick shout out, Gunner 93s from Switzerland, so thank you, mate. PA Kickers 91. You get a shout out because you asked for one, so there you go. It's all the notes in the first half of this is crap. Let's go straight to the goal, is it? John, it's a poor corner we give away. We're supposed to be marking zonally, but we're not covering the edge of the box. We're not covering, the whole of the goal. Talk me through it, mate, because it was just horrendous.
It was just poor all round. A couple of times we line up from corners. I understand they want to do that zonal thing, and that's fine if you execute it properly. But the problem is we're not. No one's rushing the ball. They don't know when to clear out properly. They didn't clear the ball twice, and then it's just a scramble in the box. And for someone like Xhaka, who is a big bloke who doesn't normally shy away from things, he kind of sort of half ducks out of it a little bit with Antonio. He doesn't stick his head in where he can get hurt. Maitland-Niles turns his back. It gets, there's a little bit of a deflection in there as well. So Leno's got no chance whatsoever. And it's just really poor all around. It's just bad organisation, and the fact that we have 2 chances to clear the ball, we don't do it either time, and then we concede that goal. I think, in all fairness, as poor as we were, it looked like the only way West Ham were realistically going to score, because they were pretty toothless up front. I mean, they got the ball in wide areas and were putting crosses in and stuff, but they weren't exactly dangerous, were they? So it's just the really shit. I think Paddy Power summed it up. The most shithouse goal to score in the most shithouse game that I've seen all season, because it was garbage. It really was.
What annoyed me was, our lackadaisical mindset from the start of the game. We were tentative. We were scared. We there was nothing brave about this at all, Rich, and it was totally summed up in this goal, wasn't it? I'll be back now, lads. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awful. I thought we dealt with the initial corner very, very well for the most part. But then that second ball, no one reacted to it. I think it was a Aubameyang. There was 3 players around the ball, and they all none of them didn't want to go to the ball, and they all kind of left it for each other. And like Rice nicked in. I can't believe Xhaka just completely like chickened out of the collision with. Even if you're not going to get it, put yourself in this. You might put him off. It might make him think twice about going in for the header or doing something. It wasn't exactly a rocket header. So when the Maitland-Niles turned his back to it, I was absolutely disgusted with it. To be fair, it was so pissed off. And Xhaka did that again later on in the game. I'm sure we'll get to it, kind of thing. But he did that later on, the same sort of thing. There's a header there to be won, and he pulls out of it and chickens out, and it's, you're more likely to get hurt in doing that than rather than actually going in for the ball. It was pathetic.
I think that point you make about where the ball drops and there's a couple of players who've got the opportunity to go for it and clear it, and no one does, kind of sums up what's going on at the moment with the team. I know we won, and obviously that's the thing we will focus on, but just in sort of the bad points of the game and what's been going on in the last 10 games, it's a lack of responsibility and wanting to take responsibility for things. And almost, I'm scared to do this because if I make a mistake, it's all going to go horribly wrong. I think there is a genuine amount of fear in the players at the moment. At least in that first half, it was very evident that there were some players who didn't want to pass to others, and they were kind of moaning at each other if there was a misplayed pass. It wasn't a, come on, let's pick each other up. It was more of a, this is all going to go wrong because we're just expecting it to fail kind of thing.
Look, I've got to be honest with you boys, okay? I've seen a lot of hatred towards Xhaka tonight online. I didn't see everybody having a crack at Koscielny when he was doing this. And Koscielny pulled out more than a few headers in his time, okay? I've seen certain players absolutely lambasted, and don't get me wrong, Xhaka should have been braver. But I think it was symptomatic of the mindset of this team. Now, we can either carry on picking on certain players, okay? And just, let the vitriol flow, or we can get over it and get on with it, because ultimately, you need Xhaka at the moment. You ain't going to pick up a midfielder in January. Forget it. It's not happening until a new manager comes in, I look at that performance, and other than Martinelli, Chambers and Leno, and I thought everybody was awful. I thought absolutely everybody.
I thought Pepe was half decent in the first half when he got the ball.
I've got to be honest.
He carried us up the pitch at least.
He looked like a pawn with a couple of tricks first half. He really did. He's another player who looked devoid of confidence. Do you know what I mean?
He was at least trying something, is what I mean. He was trying to affect the game.
There were loads of people trying. They weren't great though. That's just a personal opinion. You can disagree.
No, I think there was still a few players on that pitch hiding in the first half.
Oh, I thought Aubameyang was hiding in plain sight. I thought Torreira and Xhaka, I thought they kept a nice shape between them. They have an understanding, but they weren't really affecting the game. And as Rich said, the movement of the ball is really, really poor. Yeah. It's really poor. And it's not just Xhaka and thing. It's all over the park. So, the first half, let's give the stats, okay? Possession, we had 65% possession. We had 2 shots to their 5. On target, 0 to their 2. Corners, 2 to them, 1 to us. 5 fouls each. The one thing I will say, John, actually, before we go to that, Oscar Arias has just smashed in with the donation, and I'm going to tell you what, Oscar, okay? I'm going to ask that in the in the questions after the end of the game, okay, pal? But thank you for that. Much appreciated, buddy. John, let's talk about Cresswell on Pepe, please.
Yeah. I'm normally the one who jumps to the referee's defence in whenever we do these shows. I have no idea how. Not only is it not given as a foul, which just amazing. I do not understand it at all. There's no booking, nothing. Like, if you're not going to give a yellow for that, I mean, that's ridiculous in the first place. But at least give the free kick. It's unbelievable. I don't understand it.
Question. He got the ball.
I don't care if you get the ball. That's complete nonsense. It's intent of the tackle and the way you come in. It's a scissor tackle. It's dangerous. It's reckless. The pace. It's not the pace that he comes in at. It's the angle he comes in at, and the fact he scissor chops him down. Now, look, I saw some people saying it could be a straight red card.
Well, a little bit. North London derby last season for Tongan sent off for a far more timid challenge than that.
Yeah. No, but I just think the way he completely takes him out, I know he gets the ball, but the way he went in, he wasn't going for the ball, he was going for the man. He was going to make sure he completely wiped Pepe out. How that is not at least a free kick, I don't understand. Maybe it's not a red. Maybe I'm being a bit soft in my old age or something, but that for me is a yellow card.
That for me is a red all day long. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a red.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a clear, it's at least a yellow. And the fact it wasn't even given as a free kick is just bizarre. I don't understand it.
Absolutely. Chris Lodato smashes in the donation and he says, play wingers on the wings. Come on, you Gooners. Got a point there, pal. Got a point. It's the end of the first half. Right. Okay, so dear listeners, here we are. It's half time. That was a bag of wank, that first half. It really was bad. I don't know how many we got. 279 of you watching right now, and I got 57 likes. You are West Ham Arsenal first half. You really, really are. That's shite. That's an awful performance. You are the Unai Emery of Arsenal managers. Even Terry Neal's laughing at you lot. Let's start getting those likes up, please. No messing about. Tappy, let's get going. Because I'm not in the mood for this crap. I'm going to talk about Arsenal goals in a second. That's going to be nice, though. That's really going to be nice. That's really going to cheer me up. But come on. Stop embarrassing your families. Stop embarrassing your parents. When your kids are older, they will shun you. They'll act like you got chlamydia. And when you ask them, why are you shunning me? Your children will turn around and say, you didn't tap the like button. You didn't tap for the Welshman. Tappy, let's get going. Come on, people. 130 tonight, please. Let's go. On a more serious note, Danny released our tribute pod to the Lord Hillwood over the weekend. It's there. Cracker Pultost, you are forgiven. Thank you for my tab. It's there. It's online. It's on iTunes. It's on YouTube. It's on all your platforms. As you know, we lost our friend on August the 4th, and a few of us got together. We did the first tribute show to him. We will be doing another one of his best bits, and the guys who couldn't make it will put their thoughts in there. It's just our show to show you and Steve what we thought of him. He's sadly missed, never forgotten. Another quick shout out to the one and only Dave Goonaholic. Davey boy, get better soon. Come on, pal. You can do it. Missing you, buddy. And onwards to the second half. Rich, Cresswell on Pepe again. I mean, for fuck's sake, the guy's got to go, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was again, he was on Pepe all night. He was actually quite smart for most of the game. As soon as the ball was into Pepe's feet, he'd straight into the back of him. He would get up close, not allow him any space to turn and stuff like that. Which is, I think, one of the reasons why Pepe looked so poor in the first half. But yeah, he done him again. It was it was one of those old school reducers, isn't it? You get a free one kind of thing, and he didn't get booked for the first one. But I think it wasn't in that challenge. I think that Cresswell got injured, so fuck him.
I think he was hurt before that, and I think he just.
Oh, was he?
He knew he was done. Yeah.
Yeah, he just nailed it before going off. He wasn't going to pick up straight red. Unfortunately, I mean, standing the fucking referee in. Sorry, I didn't want to swear tonight, but it's really annoyed me that has. But yeah, you're right. It was. There's no intent to get the ball, is there?
No, he's playing the man. He's not. He's just trying to affect Pepe and stop him from going forward, and then consistently hit him so he goes into his shell. And like I said, the best thing that happened for us, really, I think, was Cresswell going off, because the guy who came, was it Masuaku who came on?
Yeah.
It allowed Pepe space. He wasn't as aggressive in the challenge before, so Pepe got free a lot more and was allowed to affect the game. But yeah, fuck Cresswell.
Yeah,
I swear, sorry, Jason, I shouldn't have swore. I apologise.
Don't even bit. I've let myself down already today, so who cares?
Can I just say the most important thing that happened at the start of the second half, that Freddie changed at half time? I'm not sure if everyone noticed this, and some people will say it's just because I love Granit Xhaka, but he moved Xhaka to the left and Torreira to the right. And woe and behold, all of a sudden, we could pass the ball in midfield again, and we actually had a connection to those front four players.
We did start to zip the ball a bit better, but I mean, I hadn't noticed that. I'll be honest with you, I hadn't noticed it. Okay, but I just look at it. Okay, I just think again, why are we? It's like watching Sokratis on the left hand side. Okay, trying to play the ball out. I mean, I'm no fan of Sok, and to be fair, he wasn't awful tonight.
No, I thought he was all right. Yeah.
He was good tonight. He wasn't good. He was decent tonight and defensively.
Yeah.
But when you see him try to move the ball,
yeah,
it's like Fantasia and the ballerina hippos. It's awful to watch.
This is why one of the reasons why I wanted Luiz tonight, because he can move the ball obviously with his left foot. You've got Chambers as your right-footed centre back. It's a nice match-up, and he's got a bit of range on his passing as well if we do get pressured.
Yeah, well.
Do you think Freddie stuck with Sokratis, put Sokratis in because he expected Haller to play, and he thought maybe he could physically match up a bit better?
Mate, I did think that. I honestly, for a second, I was about to write on our little WhatsApp group when Sokratis must be playing because of Andy Carroll, and because I totally forgot that he'd gone back to Newcastle however long ago. I just keep remembering being in a West Ham shirt and annoying us whenever he used to play. But yeah, that might have been why he did it. And to be fair, Antonio, obviously he's very quick, but he's quite a physical player as well. So he's a big lump. So that might have been why he did that. But I just think in terms of the way we want to play, because apparently we cannot do the basics in terms of defending. At least Luiz can pass out from the back.
Yeah. There was a poor pass from Xhaka. There was a great Leno save from Declan Rice. To be fair, Leno, once again, saving a bacon, I suppose. But then John. Ooh la la.
My favourite new player.
Kid has been unbelievable since he's got here. And that was just desserts for his efforts tonight. Kolasinac down the left. Great ball in. A perfectly timed run into the box. And what a finish. Talk to me.
Yeah, just the ball from Kolasinac is really smart, because the amount of times we see him get into that position and he kind of wastes it, or puts it high for our players who aren't particularly good in the air or anything like that. But he perfectly picked out Martinelli. Martinelli turns his run brilliantly. It's really good movement up to that as well to drag some of the West Ham players out of the way, and just a really calm and cool finish. And I mean, just his whole game all night. He didn't get on the ball loads, but every time he got it, he was positive. He was running at people. He was trying to get past them. He was trying to make something happen, little give and goes. And his work rate going backwards as well was ridiculous. Absolutely love the kid. I think he's brilliant. And I'm so pleased that he finally got his start because he's absolutely deserved it. And he really, really, really deserved that goal because his work rate alone is superb. I was talking to an old friend from the Football Hipsters podcast of many years ago, if anyone remembers that, Joel, our Barcelona fan, and he was saying how impressed he was with Martinelli, and he gets to watch people like Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez all the time and stuff. So, yeah, I think he's a really special talent. I hope he gets a longer run in the team. For me, it just makes sense to play him out wide. You can't play him through the middle yet. We've still got Aubameyang. Play him out wide, let him work hard, let him earn his place. And this is the front three I'll be going with for most games if they're all fit and available, ready to play. But I absolutely love the kid. He's everything as a fan you want to see. All you want to see is effort and work rate.
Question: how the hell did Saka get a start over him? Because I gotta be honest. Okay, I'm getting a bit pissed off. Okay, I really am getting a bit pissed off. Okay, you see Willock starting after a god awful performance. You see Saka getting a run out. Okay, after not doing anything to earn it, he'd come off the ball. Now I like these kids. Okay, they will have their times, they will have their moments, and they will develop. But if you're going to pick a team and performance, Martinelli's earned it.
Yeah.
He's earned it. And he hasn't been getting a fair shot of the whip, he hasn't. Not by a long jog.
No, I think, if anything, there's a case of when Freddie first came in, he just went with players that he knew more. And he obviously knows Saka very well. For me personally, I actually think Reece Nelson is probably ahead of Saka in terms of ability and skill at the moment. But again, it's just personal preference thing. And that's not knocking Saka at all. I think he's going to be a great player. I'm really excited to see him develop. But yeah, there's no doubt Martinelli deserves it. Absolutely. And I think on his performance tonight, look, Freddie's not an idiot. I think he'll stick with him. The one thing we do have to understand is that if he's taken out of the game, it's not a knock against him or his performance or anything else. It's because we have so many games in December.
And to be fair, I mean, you look at Willock, Saka, Nelson, all these guys, they're going to have long careers. They need to be managed properly at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's knowing when to not play them.
Yeah. And the other thing as well is you've got to remember that front three, the majority of the time, most managers, whoever you are at that club, the first three players that pop into your head are going to be Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe. That's that's three very difficult players to get past to get in the team. But I just think what you saw tonight was the balance was better.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Gabriel Gamal Kaufman has smashed in the donation. £3.33. And he says 3 points, 3 goals, 3 shots on target. The title's ours. Loving it, Gabriel. Loving it. By the way, quick shout out, Yvonne Okofor. We haven't seen you for a while. Where are you, Yvonne? Missing you, girl. Hope you're well. We then see Ozil Bottle taking a shot. Really annoyed with him on that one. He's in the box. He's got time. He passes and we screw it up. Not impressed with that. But then, the Pepe goal. Ozil to Aubameyang to Pepe. Rich, talk me through it. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It was a thing of beauty. It was it kind of started even before that with Torreira drove through the midfield, and it was something that you wanted to see. I was in the first half especially, and then at one point I shouted at the TV. I was like, "Stop going backwards!" It was so negative kind of thing. But Torreira, he drove forward. I think he played it into Ozil. Ozil, squared it over into Ozil, who I thought up until our goal, I thought had a really, really poor game. He looks, but I'll come on to that later, kind of thing. But into Aubameyang, lovely little back heel, and again that thing that Masuaka allowed Pepe space. I think if Cresswell was on the ball, I think maybe he would have got to him quicker. So, like you say, I'm really, really glad. Just stood him up, dropped a shoulder, stuck it out wide. bent it around into the top bins. It was absolutely beautiful, and it's just the thing that he needs. I think that's his first goal from open play and things like that, and it was wonderful to see. Like I said, really great goal. Really good to see all the players happy and celebrating with him, and yeah, I'm so happy for him.
I mean, I got to be honest there. It was the finish of a £72 million player. It was great to see, and I chuffed to bits for him because, as John said earlier on, his work rate, his effort, etc. It dictated that he's deserved something for what he's done all season. To be fair, and it was nice to see it happen. So fantastic from Pepe. Quick couple of shout outs. Matt Sanasi. He smashed in Matt Sanasi, who is responsible for the opening credits to the show, smashes in the donation and he says, when Pepe smiles, we all smile. That's right. Then the magnificent Ed Loud smashes in with a donation. He says, enjoying the show tonight. Thanks. Great distraction while sitting in hospital. Let's hope Freddie can keep the formula working. Come on, you Gooners. Much love to Ed and Grandad. Grandad's not very well at the moment, so we are wishing him all the very best. Here's to you, Grandad. Chin up, even though you're Millwall. Still like you. You're all right. You're not great, but you're all right.
Hey, to be fair, there was a very, very good tweet today. Should I say about the funny tweet, Jason, or am I not allowed to dip that low? That involved Millwall. Let's just say someone might have put a tweet out saying, look, if the worst thing happens and we did get relegated, then a certain fan channel would finally go away for the Millwall away game. So, every cloud has a silver lining.
It was funny, to be fair. Jesus, stop.
Other podcasts are available. There you go.
Yeah, they are, actually. Then we get the third goal, John, and I mean, it's a beautiful ball from Mesut Ozil to Aubameyang. Aubameyang does well getting the ball to Pepe. Pepe, lovely pass across to Aubameyang, and he does not make a mistake, does he?
No, and to be fair, I thought first half he was poor, Aubameyang. To be fair, he didn't get a ton of the ball, but I don't think he tried to affect the game in any way. I know we were struggling to get it forward to him, but second half, the whole team just picked it up, and he was running the channel a lot more, working harder. And look, he keeps getting the goal, so you really can't complain about it at all. It's a great finish. He just does the right thing, just the way he gets on it and then just, puts it into the ground because it's one of those difficult ones that can easily spin off or go up, go wide, into those sort of things. It's great technique. So, really, really, really pleased. And you could just see the players, the confidence it gave them. That first goal that Martinelli got and the way, G'd the crowd up there, the away fans who I thought were fantastic tonight. You could really hear them. And Pepe following it in with an absolute wonder goal. The whole team just picked up. And it's the thing that's been missing in this side is confidence. And you could see in that first half, they just didn't have any at all. There was no belief whatsoever. The moment they started scoring goals, they played with a bit more zip. You could see the passing was quicker. It was a lot more one-touch stuff. They were trying things. They were turning players. West Ham went back into their shell. Like Rich said, I think it did help us, Masuaku coming on for Cresswell, because I thought it unleashed Pepe a bit more. And you could see his confidence lifted, because I don't think in the first half he's ever going to try that pass to Aubameyang. Or no. if he does try it, I think he just keeps on, he completely fluffs it.
Do you know what it reminded me of, okay? Have you ever seen the Popeye cartoons?
Yeah.
Popeye eating a spinach, all of a sudden, bang, It's like those wildlife documentaries. And, you're on the, what's that great plane in Africa?
Serengeti.
The Serengeti, when the monsoon rains come, and all of a sudden the greenery, the shrubbery pops up. It's unbelievable, and that's what it was like. All of a sudden you could see the confidence flowing through us, and we were attacking well. I don't even actually want to talk about the rest of the game. I thought we managed it well. I thought Xhaka went off with a head injury, slightly concerning. Guendouzi did very well when he came on. He was very disciplined. He managed the game well. Nelson had a cameo. A bit annoyed with the linesman. Sorry, sorry, rugby talk again. With the linesman, he clearly saw Pepe get clipped and ignored it. That really annoyed me. I thought that was terrible, you know. But you know, we won. First win in 10 games. And it was so nice to see. It was so, you know, I genuinely felt as soon as, you know, we Martinelli scored, because I think he's a bit of a talisman for us, it's on. And it's, you know, it's on like Donkey Kong. And they didn't let us down tonight, did they?
Yeah, I was just so pleased with the response, because after that first half, I just thought this is going to be just one of those games again. It's going to be dreadful. I thought, you know, West Ham were poor tonight, let's be honest. They're not a great team at all. And I just thought, if you end up losing 1-0 to West Ham, people kind of joked that after losing to Brighton, we're in relegation form and everything. But if we'd lost tonight as well, that's proper crisis mode. And I'm not saying that, you know, this fixes everything and that, this is all going to turn it around. We've still got loads of issues. It's quite clear. You can still see them in the game. I mean, even in the second half, they still had a couple of breaks on us, and you could see that the team shape was disjointed and we were still too open. A better team maybe would have exploited that. But they just need these little moments and these wins in games to pick them up and try and get them to believe in themselves and their ability, because we know they're talented players. They've got technique, they can pass the ball, they can move, we've got pace in the side. So we just need to bring that belief back into the club and to the players themselves, into their own ability, and just try and take it one game at a time and hopefully, you know, slowly start clawing our way back up the table. Absolutely.
Corey Austin, the wonderful Corey Austin, is in the box. There was in the chat box just now, I thought there was going to be a little bit of friction over a certain fan channel. Look, I don't give a monkey's what anybody watches. It's up to you, okay? I don't mind anything. I couldn't give a toss again. But the friction, everybody's so happy. The friction just didn't happen. Everybody just got on with it. It's lovely to see. Chris Lodato.
It's wonderful what a win can do, eh?
It is. Chris Lodato's in there. Always love watching Chris Lodato. I'm in that sort of mood, Rich, where I don't know whether to shit or get off the pan. Okay? Do you know what I mean? We've won, and I just can't kind of believe it. I'm just kind of thinking, what the hell? You know, we've been so poor recently, and we finally get a bit of pace into that team, okay, into the game, and all of a sudden, you know, with the three guys we had up front, we showed what we could do, and some of the movement in the 3 goals was sensational.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, up until that Martinelli's goal, we looked dog shit. We did not look like we were going to score in a month of Sundays. But after that, it just, the confidence lifted. We seemed like not completely maybe, but a very different team. You know, people were actually like, we were playing with confidence. It was so weird to see. It was like, you know, watching this team for the past month playing so within themselves, to then see them, you know, actually making 1-2s, actually being progressive, actually, you know, turning and running with the ball towards the thing. It was fantastic to see, and hopefully this is the kickstart that we need. Hopefully, you know, we go on, but our fixtures, I think, are a bit sticky in the next couple of games, aren't they?
I got to be honest here. Who cares? I'm not being. I get a bit sick of us finding excuses, you know, whether it be as fans or whether it be as a team. You know, we know we're in the Premier League. This is where we want to be. We want to be Champions League, and I don't think our players are as bad as people have made out. I think, you know, there have been a number of issues which have brought us to the situation we're in at the moment, and you know, we've not been great as a coaching team, as a managerial team, or as a playing team. We've been bloody awful, okay? And it's about time people stood up and they actually took responsibility. And they did that tonight. And that was fantastic to see. So supercalifragilistic expialidocious is in the box. I just like saying it nowadays. I just like saying it to show that I can. To show that I can. Oh, look, Rich got rugby ball. Good man.
Oh yeah, I have, yeah.
Rich.
Hey.
Oh, any fucking excuse to get it out. No. Do you know what today is, Jason? Do you know what today is, though, Jace? It's 5 years since that goal, since that absolute rocket. Do you remember? Oh, the beauty with the left boot. Who knew a Welshman could do that? Unbelievable.
I love Sonogo's. I love Sonogo's reaction to that goal.
There was Sonogo and there was Wodge in goal. And Wodge is, and then you had Santi Cazorla doing the boot spit. It's just superb. It was. I remember that one. That was a beauty. Oscar Arias smashes in another donation. He says, "When can we start calling Martinelli Baby R9?" Oh no, let's leave it alone.
He's got to get that terrible little haircut. Do you remember when Ronaldo had that thing where he shaved all his head and he just had that one little wedge of hair at the front? Oh dear. You've got to be seriously good at football to pull that off.
To be fair, I thought Martinelli tonight, I just thought he was sensational. I just thought everything about him it screamed quality and effort, and he's my man of the match by a mile. I got to be honest with you. Nobody else comes close to him, and I thought Chambers and Leno did very well tonight. I thought Sokratis was solid. I thought midfield.
I thought Pepe was very grew into the game and got much better in the second half. You could see his confidence went through the roof.
He started to look like a player, to be fair to him. You know,
my favourite bits of that game is when he got subbed off. And Freddie was to him, and he stopped him and had a proper chat with him on the sideline, and he was smiling and everything. And you could see how important it was for Ljungberg to get across how happy he was with him in his performance, because he's that sort of player. He obviously needs that.
It was a beautiful smile, wasn't it? It was just a beautiful smile to see. It was just something we just thought, it's so nice to see after what we've been through recently, as a fan base, as they must have been through as a team. You know, it's just fantastic. Quick one. There's 300 of you watching, and I get 109 likes. Are you taking the mickey? Seriously. Grow up, tap the like button, and be the people you should be in life. Stop being Unai Emery, start being Arsene Wenger 2004. Or fucking Freddie Ljungberg, December the 9th onwards. I'm come on. Bloody 109 likes. That's fucking pathetic. Right, so let's go into questions, is it? John, seriously, how many questions have you put in this box?
That's all the questions I've had, Jason. Don't moan at me. If you want to have a pop at the chat box for likes, have a pop at them for questions. They're so happy they've got nothing to ask. Normally every week, it's, which player should we sack? You know, which one should we burn outside the stadium? You know, how many times should we, chase after Stan Kroenke or anything? No, I got complaints.
I got to be honest, okay. The last couple of months has left me emotionally exhausted. Okay, seriously, okay. I haven't even been asked to bloody. If I could get a podcast, I will. At the moment, I really will. Okay, it's just been that hard. But
yeah, chat box. If you do have questions, please put them in the box. I've grabbed a few already.
I've got the one from Joe Madeira there. So right, okay, let's get into questions then. Rich, we're gonna start off with you, pal. Okay. And PA. We've done that one. John Bernstein asks, "What is better, Xhaka's willingness to cover going backwards, or Guendouzi's energy going forward? I feel like we can only pick one right now."
I would say probably Guendouzi's thing going forward, because going backwards is one of Xhaka's worst traits. Xhaka does have a place in the team. I personally would like to see Xhaka as part of a three-man midfield with him on the left-hand side with Torreira behind him, kind of shielding him so that he doesn't get exposed and he's not having to run backwards, and that he's got an out ball. Because there was like a couple of times, and I don't know if it was because of it was after he got twatted in the face with the ball, and he did like a couple of like brainless passes that like put us in trouble. But yeah, no, it's a difficult one because it's, like I said, Xhaka being the last man is not what you want. He's not mobile enough. He's not athletic enough. But Guendouzi still is in the infant stages of his career, so it's, I don't know. To me, I know it might be a cop out, but it's a bit of a toss up. To be fair, I couldn't really put a real, it would almost have to be horses for courses. I think if you want someone to drive the game forward by getting the ball and running forward, then you'd be picking Guendouzi, like with things like he did against Aston Villa, where he kind of took the game by the scruff of the neck, burst forward and he did really well and things like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a cop out. Really, I can't really answer that. I would hedging toward Guendouzi, but it's 50-50.
Fair enough, man. Jolly Boy Archie asks, what do you make of Rafa Benitez's comments on he can coach the team? He said it's all about balance and being compact while letting the front three attack.
He's a very good coach. I would say that you would go back to more pragmatic football. I think that's also a plea of, please get me out of China. It's a terrible league. Although the money's great, I don't really want to be there. I'd love to coach in the Premier League again, to be perfectly honest. Would I take him? He's, in theory, a safer pair of hands than Freddie is, and someone the players should respect. I know some fans don't like him, but he's a bloke who's won just about everything. So, yeah, I'd maybe take him for a season. I wouldn't want him long term, though.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? It is
especially after Freddie's just won a game. I'm kind of like, well, Freddie can do it. I mean, that's ridiculous. Obviously, it's one match against West Ham. I'm not a complete idiot, but I think you have to give more time. I'm a little bit of an idiot, but I'm not.
Thank you. Hey, join the club. I'll answer the next one. Oscar Arias from when he donated, and he says, should Freddie stick with this lineup versus City? I'm going to be honest with you, Oscar. I would make a change. Obviously, he's going to have to change the wing backs now, the full backs. Sorry. So you will be going with either AMN or Chambers. If I was him, I'd stick with AMN and Collar, and I would play Chambers and Luiz together to give you that passing range coming out. Because as much as I thought Sokratis and Chambers did very well today, I think West Ham pony, and that had a bit to do with it. The goal, that's down to us not marking the zone properly, and a lack of belief. People weren't checking their bodies in the lineup, so you can't knock Sokratis or Chambers for that at all. But Sokratis on the ball is awful. He's rubbish on the ball, and if you're going to beat City, you've got to play. And that's the one thing I'd change. So there, that's my answer on that. Rich, Joe Madeira asks, where now for Lacazette?
Where now?
Yeah.
Where now would be home games. I'd play him in the home games or as an alternative to Oba if you wanted to give Aubameyang a rest and stuff like that. Just because Aubameyang's in amazing form at the minute, and playing the two of them together, as much as they're really good mates and stuff like that, I don't think they're a great partnership. Not really. They don't. I don't think they gel well. They have slightly different aspects to their game, but they don't link up well. One of them's not a target. Neither of them are a target man, not really. Yes, Lacazette holds it up a little bit better, but then neither are target men. But I would have him as an alternative to Aubameyang. If you wanted to rest Aubameyang, if you was chasing a game and you needed to throw on a second striker and stuff like that, I would use Aubameyang. I would use Lacazette in that aspect, because I think with the way we're looking to play, with pace breaking on a kind of counter, I think that front three of Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Pepe really gives you an outlet, which Lacazette doesn't, especially away from home. If that makes any sense?
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
So yeah, I would kind of Yeah, I know what the guys getting at, in the sense of, you've got this near 50 odd million second striker, but it's not worked trying to fit Aubameyang and Lacazette as a front pair. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't work. So I think it's going to have to be one or the other. And at this present moment in time, Aubameyang is scoring the goals.
Fair comment, mate. John, Pete Coulson asks, there's an old Bavarian saying regarding German players that translates to, when Bayern start knocking, they'll soon be off something. Have we any hope of keeping hold of Leno?
In reality, no. Probably not. It's very difficult. If Bayern Munich come in for, in particular, a German player, it's really hard to keep hold of them. So,
£150 million release clause.
Yeah, as long as we either stick in a big release clause or put his value up to a ridiculous height, that's all you can do. But it's very hard. You can't really say no to a club like Bayern. It's tough. Although at the moment, you'd rather be playing for Gladbach. Fuck you, Bayern. Sorry. Just get that one in there.
Really?
Mate, Gladbach and Inter are loving it this season. Arsenal garbage, but although except for tonight, it's been great. But yeah, it was a good weekend all round for my clubs.
Happy days. The first time I've said that.
Yeah, in a long time.
I'll take the next one. I'm going to put two questions in one. Joe Madeira in 1993 asks, should Guendouzi remain dropped? And Marcus Hodges asks, what's our best midfield? To me, Guendouzi stays on the bench at the moment. No ifs or buts. I think 4-2-3-1 is our best setup, utilising the attacking players we've got. And I think the best partnership is Xhaka and Torreira. You have to play them, as John was alluding to earlier on, you have to play them on the right side to get the best out of them. But, Guendouzi's a talented player. I've got a lot of time for him, but I think he's been used badly. And I think he's been massively overhyped by people. He doesn't give you a massive amount going forward. In fact, when you look at his end product, it's not great, okay, going forward. He gives you just as bad going backwards. Yeah, he's got a great skill set on him. He's got great willingness. He's shown he's learning. So, let's bring him in gently. Let's ease him back into the team. Let's develop the player. Because I think he's another one who's been hung out to dry under the Emery and Emery's leadership. And that's not good. And a lack of honesty has been applied to his performances as well. Earlier on we spoke about Guendouzi, and the Villa game was mentioned, and the great goal he gets an assist for. We're not mentioning the goal he's responsible for, which he just watches the ball go past. He's a young player. He's got a lot of time to develop. For me, at the moment, the squad we've got, Xhaka and Torreira in a two-man midfield, 4-2-3-1. There you go. Rich, Gabriel Gamal Kaufman asks, would you sell Lacazette or Auba if it meant funding a proper centre-back in January? Ooh.
Laka, yes. Aubameyang depends on how much you're going to get for him. Is my answer to that question, because I think it's kind of almost, it's not really sustainable to have a player of the caliber of Lacazette and the wages and the money that he cost to kind of be on the bench. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, he would be, a perfect replacement, because for a fact that as soon as we if we ever did sell him, Aubameyang's gonna bloody, I don't know, go down with some illness or some injury and something like that, and then we'll be stuffed up front, and then everybody will be like, that stupid hairy Egyptian said that he'd sell Lacazette. So that's me, by the way. But yeah, I would. Yeah, Yeah, I would. If the right money came in, I would probably sell Lacazette, because I think the job that Aubameyang is doing is better than what Lacazette brings, if that makes any sense, kind of thing. No. Not that Lacazette is a bad player. I really like Lacazette. I'd love for them to be a fantastic part of. Yeah.
We all have different opinions on this, and I don't think it's a right or a wrong thing, and so it's just a case of it'll pan out or it pans out. We can just be honest in the way we see it. John, formerly Noza, asks, the choices are between Marcelino or Kovac. Which one should we take?
My answer is neither. Christ, if I had to take one, if I was forced to, I'd take Marcelino, but I don't particularly want either, to be honest. And that's not necessarily, I mean, Kovac I know more about, and I'm not impressed. He flopped horribly at Bayern, and I get it's an aging squad and everything else, and the league is constantly getting faster and faster over there. It's why I like watching football so much. Yeah, but it's still not good enough for Bayern Munich. It doesn't matter. You've got to do better in Europe, and they were pony. They were properly bad, and they weren't that great in the league either, to be fair. Marcelino I know less about. By all accounts, he's quite well regarded in Spain. I have worries about his language barrier. I don't know if he speaks English or not. I think there's better choices than those two. But look, this is me saying it with, I don't know that much about Marcelino, to be perfectly honest. And he may be the perfect fit for the job. I just don't know enough about Spanish football. I don't watch enough.
Okay. I would like to point out there's a massive, how would we describe it? Fraudster, match fixing inquiry going on at the moment. People being charged under Herrera, etc. Shit league, shit clubs, shit players. There you go. Mr. Epic asks, Jonas Segtenberg asks, am I still completely blind, or is Ozil slowing down our attack? I get he's great at unlocking the tight defence, but we really need some urgency in our attack as well. Jonas, I mean, for most of the game tonight, you're right. You are. But he does have that ability to speed it up when he's got good movement. I think, we saw at one point, it's a throw-in, and guys playing statues. Our movement's been poor all season, to be honest with you. I don't know what we expect. We're having this trouble all over the park. It's not just at Ozil. It's not just one player making mistakes. It's gone through the team. It's like a bug going through the office. Everybody gets the shits. And that's where we're at the moment, unfortunately. He needs to man up. No ifs, no buts. But as a team, as a club, we do. I think that's just the way it is at the moment. Rich, Carl Kenneth Hallstrom asks, what do you expect on Sunday?
Who are we playing?
City.
Well, them coming off the back of a Manchester United defeat. Oh dear. I think if we if we are as passive off the ball as we have been, and we play the same the same midfield, as in like just Torreira and Xhaka in on their Todd, I think we'll get absolutely humped. We are going to need to work a hell of a lot harder off the ball if we're going to get anything out of that game. Hopefully, it's we're on the up after beating West Ham, and they're on a down swoop of form and confidence. But to say that I'll be watching the game behind like this is
watching from the end of the sofa, pal. It's the best place.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, we're gonna have 3 points Saturday, Sunday. No messing about. The 3 points coming up. Watch it. Watch this space.
Jason is talking about Ammanford, obviously.
Hey, the turn again, okay?
Yeah, so.
Come on. No, I'm serious. We're going to beat City. I think they're in the same place as we are. Okay?
Do you think we'd have to make any changes to beat City?
No, I play Luiz instead of Sokratis. That's all I do.
I'd drop Ozil.
So would I, yeah.
Maybe so, but, you can always bring players off the bench as well, can't you?
Mm. I would drop Ozil and put a third midfielder in there.
Someone with energy. Whether it's a Guendouzi, I think I'd go Guendouzi over Willock, maybe.
Yeah, so
it's quite between those two.
If you're looking at it honestly, okay, Willock's given you 2 really bad performances on the trot, okay? How are we going?
You a good one.
So, I hope you're right, because the kid is great. I love that kid. I think he's great. Guendouzi doesn't offer you anything going forwards, nothing that's going backwards.
I think we're not going to be in possession of the ball. We're not going to be in possession of the ball. So I think if you have Torreira in that middle and you flank either side of them with Xhaka on the left, Guendouzi on the right, leave Martinelli, Alba, and Pepe even to play off the shoulders of the City back four, and then you'll have Luiz, or even like say you quickly give it to Xhaka and try and knock balls over the top and have them use their pace and use their attributes. I think that's the only kind of way we're gonna win. We're not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a game for Ozil in the sense of we're not going to be controlling the possession. We're not going to have the ball. And Ozil, he shocked me tonight. Up until the goal, he looked really, really lethargic. I know he has that normal language style. Yeah, but he looked really weak and slow.
Honestly, so did everyone. I got to be honest. Other than Chambers, other than Martinelli, other than Leno, they were all the same. I thought it was embarrassing. The performances all round. I thought Aubameyang was awful. Pepe was exempt from that, to be fair. Yeah, Pepe's exempt. We'll wait and see, but I think if you're going to beat City, you've got to go and play them. And you've got to go there with a positive attitude. There's enough with the bullshit, enough with doing us down. Let's go out there with a bit of confidence. These are good players. Yes, we've had a tough time, but they can do it. From Freddie through, we need to be brave. Right, let's run through these quick questions quickly then. John, would you take Vieira on a 1-year deal?
No.
Okay, cool.
Very simple.
Yeah, no, I got to be honest here. I would neither. That's from Thomas from Norway. I would neither, Tom. I really wouldn't. I'll answer this one. David Corkland asks, if Freddie goes on a good run over Christmas, do we stick with him, or should we appoint a new manager regardless? New manager, mate. I think we need a bit more experience on Freddie at the moment. But having said that, this is football. You just don't know. We just don't know. Let's see how he gets on and go from there. And the final question of the night, guys, okay. Rogers86 sign asks, one player in January, who? So come on, one player in January, and it can be anyone then.
Do you want a more realistic one?
Okay, let's do realistic then.
Okay. I would say either Frank Kessie or Thomas Partey.
Okay, Rich?
The Thomas Partey.
Decore for me. Decore all day long. I think he gives you that physicality you need.
Yeah, that's why I said Kessie or
that's
Partey.
what,
just
yeah,
a
likewise.
monster in midfield.
Yeah, I know, and it's knowing the Premier League as well. Right, okay, that's it for tonight. We've been going long enough now. 1:10. It's been strange. We've won. I'm still feeling a bit off. I am. The game was so poor.
Every night there's a radio show coming. I just I'm going to be in such a shit mood. It's going to be so bad because it has been like this for weeks. And then I think to myself, that's all right. I'm going to be in with Jason. Rich is joining us tonight and we'll have a bit of a joke and we'll laugh about it and we'll cheer each other up. And the chat box always joins in and we kind of laugh at ourselves. And then we go and win and I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. It's just bizarre. A couple of seasons ago, winning games, I was like, yep, I know exactly what I've got to talk about. This is fine. It's simple. Now it's gone out of the window. I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you know what makes me laugh? Okay, Jonas Segtenberg's just put in the box here. Question to Thomas from Norway. Are you really happy with that answer? Or are you crying in the fetal position right now? That's what it's felt like doing the show sometimes, okay? It really has felt like that. Even, when you're doing your notes, and my notes are all here, and it's like, I just can't even be asked to ask half the questions. It's been that demoralising. And, and you just think when Martinelli scored, I don't want to talk about putting tweets out, but we're going to go and effing win this now, I put out, And it's like, all of a sudden there's people retweeting or like getting, you just think, bit of self-belief coming, yeah? We could do this. And then the second goes in and you just think, oh, that's magic. But I mean,
my timeline was just a stream of extremely confused people all saying, "What is this bizarre sensation that's going on?"
yeah. It's been. I don't know. It was nice to see us bring a bit of positivity there. I know it didn't last that long, but you've got to start somewhere. I'm not.
Just before we go, Mr. Epic, who I think is new to the chat, was asking, "Are we on Thursday?" Yes, I'm not on Thursday, but.
I said he was on Thursday now.
We're going to find out. But Mr. Epic and anyone else new listening, we are on live after every single game, 5 minutes after every game finishes, all season long. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. So, yeah, we're always here. Maybe a different lineup, but there's always someone here to talk Arsenal, get you through it.
Yeah, and we will, again, we've done it's 2 years now, is it?
2 years of every single game, yeah.
Every single game for 2 years. This year again, we'll do every single game, even if it's just one of us talking bollocks. We will do it, okay? On Thursday, you will have Josh, Ellis, and Danny, the GFP. So that's a lineup to look forward to be fair. And Danny. That's it for tonight. Thank you ever so much, Chatbox. You've been really, really interesting. You've been a lot of fun tonight, and I have 134 likes. So you are all excused from being arseholes. You are all Arsene Wenger Invincibles or Freddie Ljungberg, the 9th of December 2012. His first Premier League win. Remember that date.
You just said 2012. What's the matter with you?
Oh, fucking talking bollocks. You've known this for years. 2019 and 9th to 12th. I don't know what I'm on about. The chat box has been fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Thank you ever so much. So currently out we have Steve's tribute pod. Like I said, beginning the season, the whole season is just dedicated to Steve and John Mel now. We miss these guys a lot. It's strange when you meet people via social media and you become so friendly with them in such a quick space of time. And then when they go and they leave a massive gap in your life. And ABW it's an organic thing. It's a friendship between the lot of us. And so the Steve pod is just our tribute to him as a friend who will will always be remembered and will always hold a place in our hearts. I don't know what the hell Danny's doing for this pod this week because, who knows? Danny don't know what the hell he's doing most of the time. But that's it for tonight. So, chat box, you are magnificent. Thank you ever so much. Massive shout-outs to Michael Harneman, J-Rob, Aryan Hadari, a.k.a. Julian Nagelsmann, Gunner93, Oscar Arias, Chris Lodato, Gabriel Gamal Kaufman, Ed Loud, Matt Sanasi, Oscar Arias again, because he's so good he did it twice. Thank you for the donations, guys. If you're listening on any other platform, if you want to be part of the chat box, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Like the what do we call it?
Click the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and you will be notified every time we go live. And thank you very much to our new listener, Mr. Epic, who apparently, I'm sure he said, he's in Almondford.
Mr. Epic? What's that?
I don't know what that is. We're getting. Yeah, Jason's put his phone in the thing. There we go.
Sorry, Mr. Epic's in Almondford, is he?
I'm sure he said that. Oh, here we go. Now we've got to stay on longer because Jason's got to
stay on longer now. Who you little fella? Mr. Epic, thank you for the donation, mate. Much appreciated. Yes, yeah, I'm off. That's it. Such a shit off, Jace. I've had enough. Ta-da. Oh, before you go, thank you, Rich, and thank you, John. You weren't that great, so that's all you get is a thank you. I don't want to hear anything from you.